I demanded a sweep out of the Houston Astros on Friday. I demanded a sweep. Sean Maves behind the glass shaking his head. Sean, they almost gave me that.
Yeah, they let you down on Sunday.
Here's what's happened with the Astros in my weekend demands the last 2 weekends. It's like dating somebody who takes forever to get ready. You tell the person to be ready by a time that you know they won't be ready at. And then you guess, based off of the time you've given them, how much longer, how late they will be relative to that time. Every guy has done this, right? If you have dated somebody who is slow to get ready, which is literally all women, I mean, no offense to the ladies out there. I'm pretty slow getting ready myself. But you ask for something that's impossible, and generally you're going to be met somewhere in the middle. It's a compromise of sorts. And the Astros have compromised with my weekend demands the last 2 weekends. I asked for 15 runs Friday, last weekend. And guess what? Friday, I got 15 runs in the Space City jerseys. This weekend, I demanded a sweep. I got a gentleman's sweep, right? 2 out of 3 against the best team in baseball. So there's still a game under 500, but they finally got 2 wins in a row. And Friday night, I actually went to Daikin Park. And at Daikin Park, which was surprisingly electric for a Friday in April, it was maybe the most lit I've seen Daikin Park in over a year. I felt like it was more lit than the Tigers games, which understandably, those games against the Tigers were at 3 in the afternoon. But at that game, everyone lost their collective minds when Cam Smith, with 2 runners on, did this.
Up his first base hit of his career against the lefty. He hits him deep to left field. That ball's gone. 3-run shot for Cam Smith. The Astros out in front 3-1.
Wham, bam. Thank you, Cam.
Do we like that? Sean's laughing. Do we like that? I mean, Jeff Blum, he's an artist, color commentator on the Space City Home Network. He's going to be workshopping some things.
I enjoy that.
I didn't mind it.
Wham, bam, thank you, Cam.
Wham, bam, thank you, Cam. Simple, rhymes.
Family friendly.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Did he do it for Cam Smith's second home run on Friday night against the Padres?
Cam makes a bid towards left field for a 2-home run game. That ball is gone! Back-to-back Jackson, 2 at-bats for Cam. And the Astros lead this game 5-2.
He didn't do it again. Damn it. Jeff, come on. You had something. You had a spark. You got to feed it fuel. Cam Smith had a good weekend. And Cam Smith's also showing more defensively than I thought he would. There's been a couple of times where runners have shown an awful lot of respect to Cam Smith, considering he's in his first 20 games as a right fielder. I mean, they're waiting very nervously to see if he's going to make throws after he catches ball. And he had 1 catch on Friday. Really good game for him down the right field line, which was a difficult catch for a lot of right fielders. I think the catch probability was 60% or something like that. Again, I'm sorry for bringing up catch probability, but it was a nice play. And he's really good at squaring up after he catches the ball. And clearly he's been working on that. I like what we're seeing. This is a lot more, honestly, than I expected us to see. I did not expect a 2-home run game against the best team in the major leagues.
No,
on Friday.
That. No.
Did not expect that at all this year, honestly. Like a 2-home run game against the A's or the Angels, sure. 2-home run game against the Padres in front of a jacked crowd at Daikin Park. All right.
And especially seeing it this early. Like, I can live with the ups and downs of Cam Smith if you're getting these kind of ups this early. And like you said, game 20 of his MLB career and game 20 of his right field career, maybe like 25, because he played a handful of right field before this year, but not much. I mean, I know that it's going to be rough around the edges. I know there's going to be some at bats where it's a ugly strikeout or just it's stuff that he hasn't seen before, and it looks like it. But I mean, not just him at the plate, but also, like you said, the plays that he makes in the outfield. It is a little bit of like, okay, like
Right.
weirdly, he does the hard stuff very well. I don't know if he's making easy stuff look hard or whatever, but he does the hard stuff and we're like, okay. And then some of the more fundamental stuff, you're like, all right.
Right. There's certainly some moments, but he has a weird amount of respect from the other team, even if he is definitely far from a finished product as a right fielder. And King of Twitch brought that up. It's not exactly always great. Oh, I'm with you there. Yeah. But it's weird. Like he gets a lot of respect. You'd think he'd get tested more.
I guess just because if there's one thing you're sure about a guy who came up as a third baseman, it's like probably has a good gun. So
yeah,
probably that's on the scouting report. Although I am with you where I'm surprised we don't see it tested a little bit more. Just like, especially if you have one of the faster guys on your team on the bases, like let's just give it a shot. I get why a slower guy wouldn't try it, but if Tatis wanted to try him, like I would expect Tatis to do that.
Please explain how this moment where Mauricio Dubon covering first base and colliding with Luis Arraez is bad. Here's how it sounded on ESPN.
Arraez, there's a bunt to the first baseman. Walker flips and look out, a collision between Arraez, who's down, and Mauricio Dubon.
So that happens, and Arraez is on the field for a while, and Sean and I both paying more attention to the Rockets Warriors playoff game get push notifications saying that there's a scary collision in the Astros Padres game, and Luis Arraez had to be taken off on a stretcher. So we didn't know what happened. All I know is that from what limited internet access I had at Toyota Center, what I know is that a lot of Padres fans were acting like Mauricio Dubon did the worst thing ever, and some baseball purists were as well. So I watched it. For those who didn't see it, it's basically a bunt single down the first base line, or it looks like it's going to be one. The Astros first baseman crashes on the ball. Mauricio Dubon, utility gold glover, comes all the way over from second to first. Does, I thought, a very impressive and athletic display, getting to first base, spinning around, and then just taking the contact from the guy running down the first base line. Maintains possession of the ball. This is the NFL. It's a great play. And Arraez, I don't know what happened, like where he was out. I don't know if he hit his head or what, because he's bigger than Mauricio Dubon. But I don't understand why Dubon was getting any flack whatsoever for that. I thought that was a really athletic play, I thought. Like, impressive. But listen, I'm a baseball casual. I just was surprised by how many people were angry at him. I don't know what else he's supposed to do. Not let him go to first?
Yeah, because he has to, like you said, he's running from second base to cover first. And so obviously his momentum kind of just carries him through the first base bag. Like he can't run to a complete stop to where, like Christian Walker, if a ball is hit to third base, how Christian Walker would set up to receive the throw. Like he has to basically run through it. And yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how Arraez took the worst of this hit. Like even despite like getting stretchered off, just like how he fell. Mauricio Dubon's like 170 pounds. Like, and Arraez is running full speed at him.
Arraez is 175 pounds. So these are two guys who are smaller than me colliding with each other.
Well, it's also they're the same size. And one guy has a 90-foot running start.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's only one guy with momentum here, and it certainly was not.
It looks like his head hit
Dubon.
The turf. That's like all I can see that could be the injuries. His head kind of a little bit of whiplash on the ground.
I mean, but listen to this just right up in the Chronicle. San Diego Padres infielder Luis Arraez was in stable condition after being carted off the field following a collision with Mauricio Dubon in the first inning of Sunday's game at Daikin Park. The Padres announced during the game that Arraez was transported to Houston Methodist Hospital for further evaluation and, quote, he is currently stable, conscious, responsive, and able to move his extremities, end quote. What? Like, that is not what I would have got from that moment right there. Mike Schilt, the manager of the Padres, after the game said, best case scenario with Luis. It was very scary. We think he's for the most part out of the woods. More time will tell, but the initial testing is very favorable. I mean, that sounds like he got shot.
Yeah.
The way that they're reporting it, he has a laceration on his jawline, no fractures. He had a period where he wasn't aware of where he was, so that's clearly concerning, continued Schilt, the manager of the Padres. So it must have been a concussion of sorts and a really, really bad concussion.
Yeah. It's so weird. Yeah. I guess the issue, just judging by the comments, is that Dubon didn't stop before.
How the hell is he supposed to stop? That's what I don't get. Like, his momentum is going towards first base, and he did what he's supposed to do. I don't see how Dubon caused this. I can see how Arraez accidentally, because of this collision, ends up getting, injured or something like that. But I don't see how this is Dubon's fault. I mean, he got the out. Isn't that what you're going for? Are people going to be like, oh, no, the rules of the game, like the unwritten rules, you don't do this in the regular season. You don't do this in April. Like, that's what I'm lost by.
Yeah, no.
And Dubon felt horrible about it. Did you see afterwards, Dubon goes up to him. He's trying to help him up. Like, Dubon felt bad, clearly, about it. Dubon's a good dude. I don't get this.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it's such a weird play. It's again, we see, I guess these guys are wearing helmets, but we see collisions and heads hitting the turf 10 times worse than
football, right?
Yeah, I mean, even basketball, guys head hit the hardwood.
Yeah,
and they don't get to stretch it off.
The guys who were doing the break dances during commercial breaks at Toyota Center yesterday. I was thinking about the amount of impact that they get on their back is probably more than what that guy got on his head. But again, we hope Arraez is okay. All I'm saying is I am.
It's a weird play.
It was a strange play, and I'm still confused by the backlash. I don't know what Dubon was supposed to do there. Friday, I went to Daikin Park. Gotta say, vibes, immaculate. That's the most fun Daikin Park has been in quite some time. And I don't know why it was. Is it because the Padres were in town? Best team in baseball. Seems to be a sizable amount of Padres fans who live here in Houston. Was it because of the return of the greatest catcher in baseball history, Martin Maldonado, who's hitting 257 after 2 hits yesterday? Did you see that poll that was put up on the Space City Home Network? Who is the greatest catcher in Houston Astros history? And the poll results, it got almost 50% voting for Martin Maldonado, where Brad Ausmus, who probably should get it, got 23%. Brian McCann, 18. Alan Ashby, 14. Maldonado, 45%. Based on team success, which Astros catcher should be the greatest of all time, considered the greatest of all time? It's obviously based on the success, but Maldonado, baby.
The Space City Home Network definitely knew what they're doing by throwing in, based on team success, who is the best of these guys. Because if they didn't throw in that caveat, maybe Martin Maldonado, he definitely doesn't run away with it. He might not win it. But then when you throw in the based on the success of the team, who's the best catcher?
I teared up when he came to the plate. I teared up.
Do you want the game to stop? Just
the fireworks
it in for a second.
The fireworks that they played during the home runs and the fireworks they played after the game because it was Friday. Those fireworks should have gone off when Maldonado came to the plate. And I told a couple of the beat writers that a tear came to my eye when Maldonado came up to the plate. They were very annoyed with this comment. I think they know I was being somewhat sarcastic, but was I? Because a tear did roll down my cheek when Maldonado came up to the plate. Same thing when I saw Yuli Gurriel as well. It was cool. So maybe that's why there were so many Astros fans there on Friday. But I mean, it was lit. And I'm going to take it a little further here. The wave actually was cool for a change. I know. The wave of all things. There was a wave that took place during the game, and it got Cam Smith excited. I mean, all the Astros were talking about the wave after the game. It was a loud wave. It was a very, very, very inclusive wave. Everyone was doing it. Everyone. And I like that kind of thing. Because listen, baseball sometimes drags a little bit. Drags less these days. But come on, it's it's a sport that takes a while. There's a lot of time between pitches, and you got to do something. Because the lines for the El Tiempo margaritas were the longest lines I've ever seen in my life. I mean, per sources, the lines for the El Tiempo margaritas were the longest that there's ever been. Per sources, of course. I would never do that in the midst of a game. They were insane. Absolutely insane. The express line was longer than the food line for the margaritas. They ran out of frozens, so they only had the regular ones. And I'm more of a frozen guy. Paul, isn't that a sign of something? Whatever. Frozen means more bang for your buck and a little brain freeze on top of that. But it was crowded. The only thing from Friday at Daikin Park that was a bummer to me was this. The air conditioning has not improved. I was excited. They're sponsored by an air conditioning company. Nah. But you guys did well Friday. You guys did well this whole weekend series against the Padres. Those were some pretty good crowds.